Hello amigos, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the friendly game between Mexico and Wales that took place a couple of days ago. Apologies, the video's taken too long to come out. Obviously life's happened and I didn't get a chance to make a video until now, so hopefully it's worth the wait. So let's get into it. So yeah, obviously it was a 1-0 loss. I think everyone knows that by now. Wales beat Mexico 1-0. Game of two halves in a sense. With Mexico, it was very disappointing. Very disappointing game. With no recognised striker, which was weird. The lineup was a bit weird for me. I don't like Lozano or Tecatito or anyone else being around that striking position or the false 9 position. That's not Mexico's way. Mexico's always needed a number 9 or a number 10 up front to be the focal point of the attack. And it was missing. Raul Jimenez was a glaring hole in this team for this game. Loads of balls forward, loads of crosses in to no one because Raul's not there. No one else is going to make that jump. They're not going to head the ball in. They're not going to make that run. Tecatito and Lozano, I think, were the best players on the pitch for Mexico. Always bombing down the wing, trying to break down the bus. That was the Welsh team, and did quite well. Lozano, I think, should have scored. He had one chance where he had kind of like 2 in 1 chance and kind of missed them both. I think he should have scored, in my opinion. But it is what it is. You can't score all of them unless you're Lewandowski or something like that. And what else? I mean, Tecatito, I think, had a good game, but he had no outlet. He needs a striker. He needs somebody to ping balls into and from, and I think that's where Lozano, Raul and Tecatito work well together. And Raul's very good at holding the ball up and bringing the wingers in, and allowing Lozano and Tecatito to run behind him, and he can then find them, and vice versa. And that was missing today. The midfield as well looked completely lost. I don't like talking smack about Godado because he's a legend of the club. He's a legend of the team. He's a legend. A national legend. But he does look past it now. He's very slow, very sloppy. I didn't trust him when he was on the ball as much as I used to. He looked past it. If I'm being brutally honest, which makes me feel shit because he's a legend. I love the guy. He's a great guy. He's a great player. I just think he's over it now. I think he needs to take a little bit more of a step back. Hacha, I think, tried. He did a lot of long balls over the top to not really anyone in particular. He did a lot of good passes. He controlled the ball as much as he could in the centre of the pitch, but he lost possession a lot. He just knocked the ball forward to no one, and then that was it. Edson had a bit of an up and down game. He didn't look like he had a good game, but I think as my dude Brian was pointing out just after the game, Canacero, he basically he's got a very undervalued role in the team. He's an enforcer. He sits in front of the defence, gets the ball off the opposition and passes it forward. That's what his main job is. And because Wales were in their own half a lot of the game, he didn't really get the chance to do that. He couldn't create chances and take control the way he can, and he does for Ajax. He was a bit more subservient to Godado and Hacha. I think he needs to start taking a bit more leadership. He needs to start telling them, hey, no, you do this and I'll do that. He needs to kind of assert himself a bit more, in my opinion. The defence, Salcedo didn't have a good game at all. Very sloppy. Arguably at fault for the goal. The cheap goal that Wales scored. And as soon as that went in, I think it was like the 17th minute or something, as soon as that went in, Wales just sat back and tried to take him on the counter and stuff, and it was just painful to watch. So it was a mixture of Mexico's sloppiness, the weird lineup, the weird formations, as well as Wales's complete happiness, just sit in their own half and sit in their own box and just kind of pack their goal box in and make it pretty much impossible for Mexico to break them down. I did tweet out that Mexico would have learnt a lot more from this Wales game than they would have done by beating the US or any South American team or Central American team. I think some Mexico fans just automatically expect Mexico to always beat teams 3-0, 2-0, 5-0, and that when Mexico loses, especially when it's a friendly, it's automatically the worst thing ever. It's automatically a devastation. It's automatically like, oh my god, we've lost this game. Oh no, we're trash, we're trash. It's like, dude, I think you want to lose these games. You want to lose friendlies because one, it gives you experience. You learn a lot more from defeat than you do from a victory, and it gives you that sense of like, you'd rather lose a friendly than lose an actual cup game, you know. And like I said, they would have learned a lot more. I think Tata should have learned now that like, I need a centre forward. I need a striker up top. I think he should have started with Pulido up front. Although Pulido's not my top 3 strikers from Mexico, I think he's in my top 4. I personally, I would have liked to have seen Chicharito play. I mean, he's done really terribly for LA Galaxy, but you know, he's been training all off season. You see him online, like constantly training. You know, he's off the field issues aside. Like I think he's still on Mexico's number 2 striker. I think Henry Martin can be a valid option as well for the second striker. I think Henry Martin perhaps should have been playing in this game. But yeah, I mean, it's undoubtable that Raul Jimenez is the main striker for Mexico, and there's no one yet that's willing or able to step into his shoes. The fact that Tata Martino didn't start any other striker in this Wales game, and he just went with a weird false 9 thing, speaks volumes to me. I think he probably thinks that there's no one else that can take his mantle yet either. So the quicker Raul Jimenez gets back in recovery, like I said in the previous video, I think that he's not going to be involved in the Olympics. He may play a game, one of the last games of the season for Wolves, and then it's all about his recovery and his rehab and his getting back on the pitch. He's already back on training, and I think he's training with his teammates now as well. So he's made remarkable progress since he got injured. But I think for him, he's going to be focused on getting back on the pitch for Wolves. I don't think he's going to be focusing on Mexico for the time being. Which is a shame because he was having a really good season. He's had a really good spell with Wolves, and he's having a really good spell with Mexico as well. And I think he could have really learnt a lot and got a lot of experience playing this Wales game. But all in all, it's a bit of a trash game, to be honest, for both teams. If I was a Welsh fan, I wouldn't be too happy about it. Like, one, it's a friendly, and 2, it's like we got a lucky goal, a deflected goal, and then we sat back for like 70 odd minutes, and it sucked. It was just a painful game, one of those painful games. It reminded me of watching Jose Mourinho, to be honest, but anyway. So let me know what you think of the game. What did you think? Did you think Mexico played terribly? Do you think it wasn't so bad? Do you think it was mainly down to Wales, how they played? Do you think it was... what do you think about the striker position? Do you think that Pulido should have got on the start, or do you think Henry Martin should take over, or do you think Macias should go in there? Who do you think should take over from Raul Jimenez, basically what I'm trying to ask. Let me know what you think of the game, and I'll be back for the next friendly. I can't remember when the next friendly is, to be honest, but I will be back for it. So take it easy, guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Adios.